What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the WonderCon 2023 exclusives from Funko. So let's get right to it. So today, as I'm recording this, but yesterday, as this gets released, Funko announced WonderCon exclusive items, which usually it is a small convention, but because I believe that they didn't do Emerald City Comic Con this year besides one pop, that they're going to make up for it by having WonderCon with a bunch of different items, which we might as well kick off with the very first pop that was announced, which is a pop of Powerline from a Goofy movie, which there was a regular version and a Diamond Collection version, which was a part of a pop and bag bundle where the bag also glows in the dark. The regular version's pretty decent. The Diamond Collection version, however, I mean, they didn't really need to do it, and even though it's not specified here, I will assume that this will be limited to 3,000 pieces like all of the other pop and bag bundles that Funko has done thus far. Next up, we have a 3-liter Funko soda of the Queen for the Disney Villains lineup. Now, this is a little bit random if you ask me as terms to a 3-liter Funko soda figure, especially we just did a video here on the channel talking about 3-liter sodas that we want to see next, and this definitely wasn't one of them because I wouldn't imagine the Queen being a big enough character to be a 3-liter form. I felt like they could have gotten away with making this character as just a regular 4-inch Funko soda figure and chosen a different character for the 3-liter treatment. Then we got ourselves a pop of Lotso for Funko's new Classics lineup. Oh, I need this. Of course, you see on my wall, I got a ton of Toy Story pops, so this is one of those needs I need in my collection, especially because I cannot afford the older Lotso, and especially that flocked D23 exclusive that's worth over $2,000. So this is my next bet, and I believe Pop Culture in Australia had gotten the Batman ones in, which makes me believe that they will be able to get these in. Next up, we have a pop of Hercules with figure from, of course, Hercules. Now, this is a little bit of a random figure. It's cool that Hercules is getting more figures, considering that Hercules just celebrated, I believe, their 25th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, last year, so they're kind of catching up on that right now. So it's cool that they made a figure, but did it have to be Hercules? Not essentially. I bet there were still some characters out there that didn't have pops yet, and they should have for this con slot. Next up, we have ourselves Cinderella with trays from the Disney Princess lineup. Now, although the Disney Princess lineup has been lacking as of late, I do appreciate the detail involved with this pop where you have the 3 different trays, one of them in each of her hands, and then the one on top of her head, which is really cool. It's something a little bit different, and at least it's not Cinderella in a gold dress. Next up, we have ourselves a pop of Flick on Dandelion Seed from A Bug's Life. This announcement made me so excited because I feel A Bug's Life is one of those Pixar movies that's super underrated and definitely deserves more pops. We had only seen 3 pops, the original Flick, the Princess Ada, and the Heimlich, and even though this is another Flick, at least Funko's going into a pretty sweet direction where we could be seeing more A Bug's Life pops, especially for the other cons that will be happening this year. Next up, we have ourselves Poison Ivy for the DC Comics lineup. A lot of people knew about this because this is one of the WonderCon pops that got leaked, and this is actually pretty decent as terms of the detail. I love the effect of the mouths on the vines. I think that's pretty cool, and especially the way her outfit is pretty detailed. Definitely one of the better Poison Ivy pops. Next up, we have a pop of Hedwig with Leonard from Harry Potter. Now, this pop is a little bit meh. I mean, we've gotten a lot of Hedwig pops as it is, but I guess it actually has been shown on the Funko app that this will be limited to 3,000 pieces, therefore being a con-only pop, and you can only get it at the conventions. So I guess it's cool that for a pop that I feel like would not sell all that well in stores, that is going to be limited piece, because then a certain amount of people will be able to get it, especially if you are a huge fan of Harry Potter. Going back to Funko sodas, we have a regular one of Bugs Bunny as Superman, which will be limited to 10,000 pieces, and the chase is flocked. Now, this isn't too bad. I probably would have rather wanted to see a regular Bugs Bunny Funko soda, but I also see the reason why they did did this is because also this year is the 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers, and they already did the crossover before of Looney Tunes and DC, which are both properties under the Warner Brothers banner. So it makes sense that they would have made this into a soda form for those reasons, and making it flocked definitely makes sense because I couldn't see it any other way. Next up, we have a Funko soda figure of Snagglepuss from Hanna-Barbera, which will be limited to 2,500 pieces and will have a flock chase. This is pretty insane. This is easily one of the lowest piece count sodas in recent memory. I believe the lowest one they've ever done with a chase was, I believe, the WonderCon exclusive Slee Stack from Land of the Lost, which I believe was only 1,500 pieces and had that gold chase. So this is pretty close to being one of the most rare Funko sodas made. So I feel like a lot of people are going to want to get this, and because it's super low, it's probably going to be con only. I can't see this being loaded up on the Funko Shop website. Then Funko announced 2 pops of Freddy Funko, one being baseball and the other being a clown, along with a pop Pez of masked Freddy Funko. Now these are pretty interesting items, and I do like the fact that they made a clown Freddy Funko for the simple fact it was in the little promotional video that was posted yesterday. So it's cool that they actually made a pop, so it was a little bit of a teaser without really any of you guys knowing. And then you have the baseball Freddy Funko, which is also pretty decent. I kind of like the clown one a little bit better, which that pop actually will be only limited to 1,500 pieces. Therefore, you can only get it at WonderCon. So if you really want to get that pop, you have to be in Anaheim, California to get it. And then the pop Pez, I totally forgot that they made Pez, not gonna lie, and it's actually been a while, so it's a little bit refreshing to see this as a Comic-Con exclusive. Next up, we have a brand new version of the Gelatinous Cube from Dungeons & Dragons, which there's actually 2 versions in this photo, a glow version and a non-glow version, which at first I didn't even know that it was 2 versions. I just assumed like, hey, this is glow in the dark and this is what it looks like when it's glow in the dark, instead of specifying that one's glow and one's not glow, which is a little bit meh. I feel like you could have just done a glow-in-the-dark Gelatinous Cube as itself. I mean, we did get the one from Emerald City Comic-Con, so it would have been cool to make this one just glow in the dark. That way it makes it a little bit more special. Next up, we have 2 pops from One Piece. The first one being Trafalgar with Polar Tang, and then the other character, I believe it's pronounced Itusus Kid. I mean, I can't say anything bad about anime pops. A lot of them are super detailed. There isn't really a bland anime pop, and the pop rides is gonna sell like hotcakes because we've seen what had happened with NYCC and CCXP with the Luffy pop rides. That looks pretty decent, and then the other character also looks cool with like the huge robotic hand that's like kind of down like that. They're both pretty decent pops. And I guess I spoke too soon when I said bland anime pops. We got ourselves Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaizen. Yeah, this one's pretty bland. I feel like there are definitely better candidates for Comic-Con exclusives for anime than this simplistic pop. Even we've seen better Jujutsu Kaisen Comic-Con exclusive pops last year with like the SDCC version than what we have here. So I feel like this should have been just a regular exclusive or just an upcoming common for a different wave. Next up, we have ourselves a pop comic covers of Skrull as Iron Man for the Marvel lineup. This is actually pretty decent. I like this idea where you're kind of mashing up the 2 characters where one is dressed up as a different character. It goes with the certain comic, and a lot of people are actually considering this maybe the best comic cover that Funko has done thus far. I don't exactly know if that's entirely true. I think there may be 1 or 2 that are better than this, but this definitely is one of the better comic covers that Funko has done thus far, and I feel like a decent amount of people are going to buy it. Next up, we have ourselves a pop of Tariret from Moon Knight, which I actually totally forgot about this character. Moon Knight had a really excellent wave of pops with barely any like repeats besides a couple of glow-in-the-dark versions, but I think overall the lineup was cool, and this was a character that definitely deserves its own Funko Pop. And this is also a bit of sad news, but this pop will be limited to 3,000 pieces as shown on the Funko app, thus making this a con-only pop, and you can only get it while at the convention, which sucks, especially if you are looking to complete your Moon Knight set, because now you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg to go buy this pop and complete your Moon Knight set. Next up, we have a Funko Soda figure of Valkyrie, which will be limited to 11,000 pieces. freezes and the chase is glow in the dark. This is meh. I feel like they could have done something a little bit better. I don't mind glow in the dark, but if they would have done it glow in the dark and then maybe a different posing or added metallic, I think that would have been a little bit better. At least with Flock, you can kind of tell a little bit of a color difference when you have both the common and the Flock chase, while with glow in the dark, you won't really know until maybe you feel the soda figure and you feel that it's a little bit rough because of the paint. Otherwise, you have to check the pog to make sure that it's glow in the dark. Next up, we have a figure of Lord Kreil from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And it's pretty surprising that we're getting more Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania pops out now, considering that the movie just recently released within the last couple of weeks. I mean, I guess it does make sense considering it has been a couple of weeks already. I haven't seen the movie yet, unfortunately, but I do plan on seeing this. And from what I've seen of a couple comments, I believe this character is actually played by Bill Murray. So I guess it's a plus because Bill Murray is just awesome. Next up, we have ourselves a pop of Groot with Detonator from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't really see a point of Funko doing a Volume 2 pop for a convention at this point. I mean, I get it. They're promoting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that's coming out, I believe, in May. I don't know. This could have been released at the time of when Volume 2 had came out. And then the last reveal here as I'm doing this video is a WonderCon 2023 Funhouse t-shirt. This isn't too bad. I mean, it's not the best looking Funko t-shirt that's been made, but I don't think it's the worst either, because worst comes to worst, they do a small logo on the front and a big logo on the back like they used to do with a lot of t-shirts back in the day, but I would rather just one big logo on the front and then nothing on the back. So overall, I think it's well done, and I mean, this is probably going to be a Funko Shop Shared exclusive. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video about WonderCon 2023 reveals, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite exclusive was that was announced, and I'll see you guys in the next video. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.